wild.
We have Jaden on line 4 from Austin. Jaden?
Yes, sir. Get it on.
Get it on, man. Let's see. We got Dallas. There's 33 tickets left in Dallas, but you're in Austin, right?
Yeah, I'm in Austin, and it's kind of around the same number.
We need about 33 to sell.
Yeah, I think it was up in the 40s last time I checked, but it's hold on a second.
Oh, tickets sold, tickets needed. Sorry, I'm looking at I'm looking in the wrong column. Sorry.
Yeah, I was pulling it up. It's just kind of a call to action because we're coming up on the deadline on the 20th, which by the time this airs will be, only like 24 hours or so. So I just wanted to, throw that out there. I mean,
how does it work? I love hearing about how all this technology works or all this new innovation when it comes to this kind of stuff. You call in and you go, or you send an email and you go, hey, I'm Jaden from Austin and I'd like to host this, or I'd like to throw my hat in the ring for this movie?
Yeah, basically, and it's funny you should ask because I did call in to do that. I called in to go ahead and host. I took the initiative. I thought you would appreciate that. But there was a guy that had already beat me to the punch. So I'm actually not hosting the event, but this is kind of my contribution to the, spreading the good word.
Well, what do you do, Austin? Jaden in Austin.
Well, I actually own a swimming pool construction company. It's like environmentally friendly pools. They're called biodesign pools. It's probably right up your alley. I know you're into the innovation and,
I am. I went from a saltwater pool to a chlorinated pool, which I don't care about, but other people make a big deal about. But tell me about your pool. And do you have a gunite rig?
Well, no. See, that's the thing. There's no gunite or concrete involved. It's basically like a pond.
Digs a pond.
It's several pond liners with like flex plumbing underneath it, and then you put like this really cool, fancy like sand-colored resin over the top of it, so it's kind of like a private beach.
Nice.
And like, I mean, it's kind of new. The technology is kind of new to the States. They've been doing it overseas. Like I said, it's called biodesign.
So let me just draw a picture for people. The gas tank in your car is just made of sheet metal, and it's like a rigid tank, it's like a canteen or something. You are like a racing fuel tank has a bladder.
Yeah, the bladder, yeah.
Right. So you have a pool with a bladder in it, and then you have flexible plumbing because you don't have rigid stuff running that could break or snap in case there's any movement, right?
Yeah, and like the ground shifts, so I don't know why. Like it's one of those things you always talk about. Like, why are we still doing it this way if this exists? And so that's kind of
how much cheaper or faster. Okay, so what people should know is a regular pool is dug out to the shape of the pool, and then you take rebar, number 3 or number 4, whatever, and you bend it around, you make a whole cage, and then a guy comes in with a gunite rig and he sprays lightweight concrete all over the cage, and then a guy screeds it off, sort of sculpts it off as you do it, and that becomes the rigid shell of your pool. And of course, before that, all the hard plumbing lines and electrical for the lights and everything, pumps and everything is all laid in advance. And it's super expensive, and it's pretty time consuming.
Yeah, and it's never on deadline, as you probably know.
No.
And the cool thing about these biodesign pools, and like I said, I mean, it's not everywhere yet, but we're trying to bring it over. They have their manufacturing kind of headquarters in New York, and then they just kind of they import all the materials to wherever you're at. My company's called Exotic Pools here in Austin. But yeah, the process is, I mean, you can build one in like a week or two, depending on the size.
How much cheaper is it, or is it cheaper?
It kind of depends on the different type of materials that you choose, the different finishes and stuff, but it's pretty much around the same price, if not a little bit cheaper, but way faster, way safer. I mean, if you're anything like me, there was nothing more that I hated when I was, I know you always talk about stuff like this, but when you're little, running around the pool, and you're like, oh, well, what's the point of even, it's like, it's not near as much fun if you can't run and jump and push people in. So the cool thing about these pools is, once again, they don't have the hard edges.
Yeah, they don't have.
You can run around them. I mean, and you can't put a price on safety, for your children and stuff. You can do.
I got about $80. A little more for the boy. But
you can't, Jaden.
Yeah. Hey, Jaden.
Yes.
Here's a big question. Later on, when I want to drain it and skate it, how can I hit coping and do a kick turn on the coping? You know what I mean? Like, how can I skate your pool? I can't skate your pool.
Yeah, well, you can always drill some rails in and secure it in, if you want. I mean, that's the beauty of it, and that's another thing too. Is like anytime if you need to add anything or do any renovations, it's way easier because it's not drilling into gunite and the I don't know what kind of deck you have. But the hard concrete decks or the stone decks.
Well, later on,
it's such a pain in the ass.
When you have kids, and then you got to put a fence around your pool, and then you got to drill down into the concrete. All right, Jaden, you're doing the Lord's work, and if you're over there in Austin, go to tug.com and buy a few tickets, and we'll get that screening going, man.
Yes, sir, and I just wanted to get in this quick plug. We do an Adam Carolla fan podcast called Endless Ranters. So if you have any questions about this show or the Dallas show, you can hit us up at Endless Ranters on Twitter or at Endless Ranters at Gmail.
Thank you. Thanks, Jaden. Thank you. I don't know if I trust a guy named Jaden to put my pool in.
Or Aiden or Caden.
Yeah, that's Will Smith kind of name. Braden, Caden, or Jaden. All right, I'll tell you what.